What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Sanchez 405 coming at you. It is on the Warpath. It's the Warpath to the draft, sprinkled in with a little bit of off-season knowledge. And as we know, we found out yesterday that the 2016 draft class for the Washington Redskins is continually dwindling down after Sua Cravens was traded, after Jay Gruden says he was going to be traded, probably not even 2 weeks ago. We're absolutely not going to trade him. Traded with the Denver Broncos, flipped fours, flipped fives, and then got another five. And big things, Amir. Big things happening with the Redskins. And one thing we for sure know, we can't tell this team up or down, heads or tails. I don't even think they believe what they say when they go out here and tell us now.
Well, what do you expect them to say? I mean, do you expect them to be like, to either, be political and say, no, he's a part of the team. We're not going to trade him. Why? He's a part of our team. He's a Washington Redskin. A la RG3. Or would you rather them say, please, Lord, somebody take him off our freaking hands? And look desperate and just like, oh, yeah, we'll give you a 2019 7th round pick for him. And that's all anybody's going to offer.
I think you could still tell them, well, yeah, we're always listening or something. Could have used something like that.
Doug
I
Williams
don't
does say that. There definitely is a disconnect between the front office and the coaching staff, but
there's a disconnect between the front office and the front office. Like it's a sprinkle down, trickle down. Like I don't understand how a functional organization can be functional when your top personnel man like Doug Williams gets sent a text message from the general manager and is like, "Hey, don't answer your phone." He's supposed to know this stuff. Like, why can't he? Stupid. I mean, we don't know what goes on in this room. And almost a year ago today, I got in trouble for saying, what I thought was going on. So I'm not going to get into that about assuming what happened there, because it's all speculation, and we know how the news can be at times. But besides the point, Sue Cravens kind of mixed feelings about this. I think he may have given up on the Redskins before they gave up on him, but he lived long enough to not become a villain or demonized by the stories that plagued his original general manager in Washington, and he loves Aladdin for all we know.
Oh, yeah, this is true. I mean, he's definitely going off to a whole new world. But this is just going to show you maybe, and I'm not saying, Bruce is the savior here, but not by any means. But maybe McLuhan wasn't the general manager we thought he was. I mean, looking at his draft choices of what has panned out so far, I mean, Brandon Sheriff, 2-time Pro Bowler, okay, that's going on. Which they need to work on an extension for him now before the guard market explodes even further next year. Right. Preston Smith is currently still on the team. Wildly inconsistent. Shows flashes of greatness at times, but also is just, you're wondering, hey, is the guy's that way? Go that way, bro. Third round pick from that year was Crowder. Crowder had an off year last year. I think that some of that was due to the fact of just the inconsistency at wide receiver just in general for the Redskins. Because you had Josh Doxson developing into his second year, really his first year playing And he definitely showed flashes of what he could be. And we all know what that train wreck of Terrell Pryor was, who is now the New York Jets problem. But just going back to the draft picks from 2015, you had in the fourth round Matt Jones, who we all know fumbles McGee there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
You would never let him hold my child whenever I had one.
right?
I don't think his wife
Oh, his
should
wife
let
would
him
let him.
hold any children. The Redskins probably never sent him to hold babies.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't even trust him in the game of Hot Potato.
All right.
Let's see. Let me pull up the rest of that draft class real quick. Do you have anything to add so far of what I've mentioned?
In the 2015 draft class.
There we go. So, of course, we had, as I said, we had Brandon Sheriff, Preston Smith. Matt Jones was actually the third round pick. Jameson Crowder was the fourth round pick. I
Right.
apologize. Also in the fourth round, we had Ari Kwanjo,
who has been somewhat.
We actually let go last year after the preseason. He didn't make the team cuts, and we had to bring him back later on in the year because of the injury bug, which goes to show you that he never even got picked up to another team.
Yeah.
In the
He
fifth
got
round, we
picked up
had
by
Martrell Spate,
Baltimore.
who's also been injury ridden.
Yeah.
Kaishan Jarrett in the sixth round, which showed so much promise, and then of course in that Cowboys game at the end of that season, unfortunately, career-ending injury to him. Then we had cornerback Tevin Mitchell, wide receiver Evan Spencer, also in the sixth round, both out of the league. And also center Austin Ryder out of the league. So, of those, only three remain on the team, and that's being Crowder, Preston Smith, and Brandon Sheriff. Moving on to that 2016 draft class, they added 7 players for that. First round being Josh Doxson. Second round being Sua Cravens, now with the Denver Broncos. Third round being Kendall Fuller, who is now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see here. They also had they skipped the fourth round. They ended up trading out of that. And in the fifth round, they picked up Matt Ioannidis, the Itis, who in his second year definitely flourished, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
He definitely
Absolutely.
is starting to prove his worth around. Definitely, I think some of that coaching of Tom Sula helped a lot. In the sixth round, they have now Super Bowl winning quarterback Nate Sudfeld.
Backup winning quarterback.
Hey, he still has a ring.
Yeah.
Linebacker Steven Daniels out of the league, and running back Keith Marshall in the also in the seventh round is Steven Daniels, who has yet to play it down in the NFL, preseason or otherwise, who always just ends up getting hurt.
But you did get a lot of undrafted talent out of that draft, and as you're seeing here, courtesy of ESPN, Rob Kelly and Anthony Lanier, and then you had Mo Harris.
This is true. I mean, Mo Harris did come as an undrafted free agent there, as a Lanier, who last year proved very, very much worthy. Which I can't wait to see what that rotation will look like with Lanier, Ioannidis, and Allen, plus whoever we pick up either in the draft, or if by some miracle Hankins signs, which I highly doubt at this point.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I know.
And then and of course we did find out that they did use Scott's draft board to a T in 2017.
Yes. Yeah, that was confirmed by Scott Schaefer, I believe, saying they did not change the board whatsoever.
And of course, we had Jonathan Allen and Ryan Anderson in the first and second. Now, a lot of people want to give Ryan Anderson crap because he didn't really do anything, but look at the depth that he was behind and everything. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan, Preston Smith, Junior Gillette, which they needed to see what Gillette was going to do. And at the time before he got hurt, Trent Murphy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, he's not going to show much flash if he's not on the field. If you can't, if you can't get to the field, you can't show much. So I really don't blame him. With Gillette gone, with Trent Murphy gone, I expect him to definitely take a step forward this year. Um, Same with Jonathan Allen. I think after he got healthy, he's now healthy in the off season. We did not have a third round pick. It looks
Yeah,
like.
we did.
Oh no, we did. We have
Yes,
Fabian
sir.
Moreau. Fabian
Watch your
Moreau. He's not.
screen.
He's not. He's not listed on here for some reason. And this is. I'm looking at the Redskins website, by the way. Go figure. Third round pick we have Fabian Moreau, which
Mm-hmm.
according to draftnologists was supposed to be a first round talent, but got injured, much like Kendall Fuller. So we can see if lightning strikes twice. Also in the fourth round, we had Samaje Perine, who towards later on in the season, he finally started getting a groove going. He had
He was
some,
the leading rusher for the team too, was he not?
I believe he was. I don't have those stats in front of me. If you want to look that up, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had of course safety Monty Nicholson, which we talked into nauseum about.
Yes.
Tight end Jeremy Sprinkle, who did catch a touchdown pass in the Saints game. Center Chase Roulier, who got a lot of playing time. Wide receiver Robert Davis, which we didn't see much of. He spent most of this. I think he spent most, if not all, the season on the practice squad. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even part of the active roster at any point, even after all the injuries. Um, Josh Harvey Clemens, the linebacker slash whatever he is. And then, of course, Joshua Holsey, I think, got some playing time towards the end there.
But they did get a lot of use out of this draft class.
They really did. This draft class got a lot of experience just because of all the injuries. If they pick up a guard in the draft somewhere, I think maybe in the fourth or the fifth round, I expect Chase Roulier to be the starting center.
Mm-hmm.
They're even talking about Robert Davis taking a big step forward. Cause I mean, he ran a 4.40 as well. So
For that size, yeah.
Because he was over 6 foot, wasn't he? He was like 6'2".
Yeah. And he was a tree.
So I'm kind of excited about that. See if he can take a step forward there.
Right.
Of course, that was the 2017 draft class, and we'll be moving on. We'll be moving on to this draft class right now, I guess. Do you have any comments about the Scott McCloughan picks?
I thought that was probably his best draft. He had a good draft in 15. The potential for that 2016 draft class was there, but it was a disappointment because it's been disassembled. Josh Doxson is looking. I think he's finally going to become the player that they originally wanted. Wish we could have got more out of Sewer Cravens there. We had some other guys who, like Kendall Fuller too. You wish you could have saw him stay in Washington. Part of me was wishing that trade would have went through and somebody wouldn't have passed the physical. And then you got Itis as well. He's played really well. But this 2017 team, like we just mentioned, I think they got a lot of experience, which is just going to aid them going forward. I think that, and probably the biggest person that stood out to me in that whole draft class, I thought was Chase Roulier, the way he came
Mm-hmm.
in there and played center. And I'm just talking about where he was drafted at, and then the type of performance he put on just to roll in to a probably a starting job here, barring his health. So you look at it, a 6th round pick, the 199th player in that draft, and the Redskins look like they have a center that'll take the place of Spencer Long. Still need to find that left guard there. Maybe we can find it in this draft, and then you'll have a lot of youth there on that offensive line. But I liked it. I like this draft. We saw a lot of these guys. I fell in love with Fabian Moreau watching him play on special teams. How he rushed down the field, especially in that Green Bay game, and he just met uh, the
Oh,
punt
that
returner.
was such a
Yeah,
good hit.
yeah. So, and I think he did twice in that game. So I really like where this, as long as they can stay healthy, as long as these players can stay healthy, I think a bad season can be an okay season.
I agree. And once we get the schedule, I think we're going to be getting the schedule in the next week or two here.
Right.
We usually get about either a week or two before the draft, and the draft is today is the 29th, I
About a month.
believe. Say the 29th? Yeah, today's the
Yeah.
29th. So, the draft is about 28 days away. 30
Mm-hmm.
about 30 days away.
Right.
So once we get there and everything, we'll have closer to there about a week or two before that. We'll get the schedule. Of course, we'll do our schedule release when that happens. So we'll go over that.
Oh yeah.
We already know the opponents. I mean, you already have our theories about what's going to happen possibly.
Right.
But that was also, I think, was that when we went over that? Was that prior to the Smith trade?
Yeah, I believe it was prior. Yeah, because it may have been. Yeah, I think it was prior to the Smith trade. For sure, it was.
Yeah, that's what we call in the business, a tease, folks.
Yes, ATs. So we'll see where we go from there, and then um, moving on, we did got some talent. Zach Brown and his band is back, boys.
Chicken fry.
And then who else is back there? Paul Richardson. Uh, I like to see. I actually talked to a Seattle Seahawks fan, and he said he's going to miss Paul Richardson. So maybe
As
that's a
did
plus.
I. My one of my best friends just happens to be a Seahawks fan, so
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Oh man, you got a good receiver," and he's just kind of crying to himself slightly because of just how that team is dismantled.
Yeah, and then we also got see now this last one pisses me off. Um, with the Redskins, why in the world every single year? I really do think it's been like every single year. Um, maybe the last 3 out of 4 years, the Redskins go out and get trash from Dallas. I don't get this.
It's a Dan Snyder thing. I really think it's a Dan Snyder thing that he has an obsession with former Dallas players because Jerry Jones is his daddy.
Fair point. But I honestly don't understand the scan trick. Um,
I think DRC wanted too much money. I think that's why.
this you win. You have to spend money to make money. I'm just saying the body of work that a man puts out on the field. Who are you gonna pay more to? The man who showed up part of the time, or who showed up more? That's market value, dependability. Scantrick was hurt what all of the 2016 season.
I think he had a suspension. That's why.
Right. So, and they had one of their best records probably since 14. So they went 13-3 that year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I'm saying. They can do without him. They did it before. They were worse with him this year. So why do you want to go out and get him? I don't get it. McClain must not be that good. He was okay on a terrible defensive line, but let's pay him $25 million. Makes total sense to me. Jason Hatcher was old as sin. I can go all the way back to 03. Pepe Zellner, Brandon Noble. The list goes on. Probably going to be Dez Bryant after June. That's what I said too.
Oh, God, please no. I don't want to be seeing that X-Men turn up in our end zone. He has to catch it first.
Yeah, yes. And when Dez starts talking to people, that people who aren't even there, that's when he's doing stuff. So I don't know. Racing might go out and get Dez Bryant. Maybe, I just say hide all the women though if you sign them. Because somebody's gonna get punched out. Gonna be
At least
happy.
moms.
At least mom. Yeah. Make sure your mom isn't there. Like,
I mean, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your mama.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. $5 million a year for Scantrick. Yeah.
He's only costing 2.5 against the cap, so we still have. I just had it up. What was it? We still have 18.997 in cap space. So with signing the draft class, that'll be about 4 million. We'll have roughly around 15 million in cap space after the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can understand not wanting to go after a player like Sue, who just signed a 1-year, $14 million deal.
Yeah, Sue. I can see that for Sue. Sue's only missed games because he was suspended. He's never missed one due to injury. So, That's my point. And that's just the point I'm trying to make there. And, I don't know, Bruce Allen, you have so much pride. Your daddy hated the Cowboys. You go out and you find their cheapest of trash.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
I mean, Stephen Bowen worked out a little bit.
He's okay. Yeah, I forgot about Steve Bowen.
A little bit. No, I'm not saying he was amazing, but
Barry Cofield was more productive than
was a
him.
little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
I think. But he was Giants trash. He wasn't Cowboys trash.
True. That's what I'm just saying. Giants trash is better than. Oh, and what was the comparison? We were comparing Giants trash to Cowboys trash.
This is also true.
Huh? Come on now. I can't. Come on now. I'm just saying, y'all ain't ready for me. I'm just pointing that out there. Serious though, like this makes me mad. It does that. We go, and the one thing this team does is fuck up against the Cowboys. Excuse my French, but that's what we do. And then we go out and get the people we don't even play against because they're still hurt. That's like getting Stevie Wonder to write me his notes out. I don't understand what he's saying. That's like those people in that gym with Stevie Wonder shooting the basketball. Who's negotiating with these guys? Who says, let's go out and get this cat?
I'd much rather have Patriots leftovers than those, because at least they,
I'm saying, right? At least they know how to win.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'd rather have Eagles garbage right now. But
yeah, where's Benny Logan at? I think he's still available.
There you go. No, wait a minute. Didn't he go to Carolina? No, he went to Carolina, didn't he?
No, that was not Sheldon Richardson. I don't know. I can't remember. We'll look it up.
Okay. We'll look that up. But anyway, so you've been preparing something for us. And yes, I do get hungry on here, so I apologize for that. And while you get prepared for that, we're going to read some comments, Amir.
Okay.
So the RG3 bandwagon is back in here. How do you feel about Sue Cravens in the trade to the Broncos for a fifth round pick? Um, it is what it is.
It is what it
I,
is. I mean, Sua's not going to come back here and play anyways. I mean, he would have been third on the depth chart, that strong safety behind Nicholson and Everett, respectfully. He wasn't going to get on the field,
no,
and
that's all.
I doubt he would play special teams.
Right, and at least you trade him in the out of conference, so we won't see him if he even stays that long, or before he gets so despondent that maybe Jack can help him out on that one. So don't know. Not trying to be a jackass. Not trying to be an asshole, but yeah. So it is what it is. Greg Lightbody, he wants Currion Johnson. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Benny Logan's still a free agent right now, actually.
Okay. But did I say that guy's name right? It's very urban. I don't know. So
Kerryon Johnson, the running back from Auburn.
I believe so. Would you like him?
It depends. I've watched film on him. He's not my favorite running back in this draft. Not by
Not your
any
favorite.
means. There's no way we're gonna get Barkley unless we trade up and
Why
even
not? Why not trade up?
Mr. I never want to trade up.
I'm just saying, man, it's it's a moonshot talent. Why not trade? Why just even blew up the team anyway? And this looks like a team that's rebuilding more than reloading, but we'll get to that another day. Yeah, but not your favorite
It
running
depends how
back.
far you would have to trade up and what you would have to give up. I mean,
I give away my soul. How about that?
besides that,
I
nobody wants
give
that
up.
tainted thing. I'm joking. I
That's
still love you.
that hurts. Anyway, besides that, what do you think we got value for Cravens? I'd be honest with you. If we got a carton of eggs and a flat tire, we would have got value out of Sewer Cravens.
Yeah, no, the fact
Cause
that we got a pick at all, besides
right.
just swapping picks, is amazing to me personally. For a
Apparently
guy
got
who
yeah.
twice in his short NFL career has contemplated retirement. His
Right.
people don't know this. His rookie year, the Redskins had to convince him to stay, and then he decided, eve of cutoffs, his second year, oh, I'm gonna retire,
Yeah.
whatever, and the Redskins placed him on the exemption list. And now the Broncos definitely got value for him a little
Right.
bit more than we did, of course, because he was a second round talent. Broncos actually graded him at a first round talent during that 2016 draft. And also because he was on the exemption list last year, they didn't pay him. So his salary didn't go into effect, and therefore his contract was pushed off a year. So he
Mm,
still has 3 years remaining of his rookie contract.
damn. And apparently the Redskins shipped off a bottle of Zoloft too. So good things happening out in DC.
We all grow.
Denver. Yes. Yeah, we do. We all grow. I don't know. It's his social media is some of the most bizarre stuff I've ever read. So I really do think he listens to Katy Perry. He's up and he's down. Um, Blue in the house.
I think he's
Uh,
Dane Odell. That's just me. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, you seen how Odell comes out of them waters? Just saying, man.
Majestic AF.
Yeah, he needs coverage, physical coverage. So
I mean, this was a guy who proposed to a kicking net. So I mean,
yeah, it's true. He likes a lot of holes. Um, so Big Blue is in the house. Where's my throne at? When you guys can get out of the cellar, you'll get a throne. Um, Redskins pride. I don't think we should take an RB with the 13th. With the exception of quarterback and corner, we're in need at every position on the field. Special teams should not be ignored. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're going to take a kicker or punter at 13 either. But I mean,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what you mean
You
by
know,
special teams, buddy.
I
But
don't think. I mean, I think they just meant as a draft. They need somebody. They need people to fill in on special teams, not just kicker and punter. But you can't get, maybe a late wide receiver who's good on special team. Maybe find your next Matthew Slater.
you never know. I mean,
Come on,
that
that's
does
what
that
they're
does
saying.
happen. I mean, and you really get your special teams guys from your reserves and your undrafted college free agents and your lower round picks. So that's
How
where your
you
special team is made up from.
how you doing? That's what I'm telling you. Did not just say that, and I think that's what they were talking about. But I can't assume. Um, they said with the exception of quarterback and corner, we need everything. Hell, we need somebody at corner. Who you starting? Who you starting? Opposite of Josh Norman,
Uh,
Moreau,
no, Dunbar.
Dunbar.
He has the most experience. You got to go with the guy with the most experience right now. While you're going to because also the roster isn't shaped in February and March. Roster's gonna be
True.
shaped in August
Yes.
during the preseason and training camp.
Or for the
So
Redskins in November.
this is also true, but going opposite of Norman is good. Right now it's Dunbar. He's penciled in there. Penciled, not penned.
Penciled, not pen. What could be erasable ink. Um, Scandrick got 10 million for 2. Yeah, we talked about that. Thanks, John Lynch. Um,
Oh, I'm glad to hear
and
that from the GM in San Francisco.
Jonathan, Jonathan, smart one. Uh, and then um, another one from Redskins Pride, WGIL. Sounds like a radio station. Is that a radio station? Please tell
Redskins
me
Pride,
that is.
WGIL in
Yes,
Cincinnati.
yes. I think that'd be pretty good. Um, is the book closed for Fat Rob and P Ryan? Fat Rob, maybe. P Ryan,
I
no.
think they're gonna move on from Rob Kelly.
Yeah,
They're gonna move
yeah.
on from
That's
him.
what
They're
I'm
gonna keep P
thinking.
Ryan because of draft status for now. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, he moved on after Matt Jones after 2 years, but this P Ryan going to his second year, he did show improvement later on
He
as the
did.
year progressed. So you can't give up on somebody who if they're showing improvement, in my opinion. Doesn't mean he's the starter,
Right.
but he's definitely gonna be in that he's definitely gonna be in that rotation in that committee.
And with Thompson being hurt, I mean, he should be bad. He should be good. Come
Thompson has
August.
started running again, which is good.
Right. Right. So, but he's still gonna have that little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had a message retracted. Papa Allen would roll over in his grave. Yes, he would. Talking about Bruce, Brucey boy, getting all these Dallas Cowboys to come up in here. That's like the Hatfields and the McCoys recruiting each other to come and fight for them. Like that's like stupid. Like, oh well, yeah, we hated you for the last 10 years, 20 years, but come on over, man. Come on over. We'll make some room for you. What? That's like Donald Trump inviting Stormy Daniels back into the fold. It makes no sense. It just doesn't. Um,
Or
yeah,
Crooked
but
Hillary.
yes, this is
She's
you
so
know.
crooked. No, it's more
Oh
crooked
my
than
gosh.
her.
Oh gosh. Um, also we have a don't trade up from we need every one of our picks for depth, if not else. If nothing else, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point.
I agree.
Uh,
If anything, I would say trade back a little bit. It just
mm-hmm.
depends on what you can get for trading back.
Hashtag hoard those picks. And
Like
this
if let's say Mayfield's available at 13 and Arizona wants to move up,
didn't trade.
or if I even have a scenario for you for right now, Core. If New Orleans at 27, I believe they're at,
Uh-huh.
wants to move up to 13 if Mayfield's available, to pick Mayfield to be the heir apparent to Drew Brees. That way he learns maturity and he learns from one of the game's best.
In New Orleans?
In New Orleans.
Hold on, wait a minute. You talking about Baker Mayfield, the kid who got arrested for drinking. Although he'll be under Drew Brees, you're going to put him in the party capital of the United States.
He's saying he's a mature guy. He wants to mature. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt right now.
Johnny Manziel wanted to mature too, and look what happened to him.
Not right away. Johnny Manziel didn't say he wanted to mature when he went into the draft. He was almost as bad as Jameis Winston in a Publix.
Well, okay. Well, I just don't think the atmosphere would be right for the guy. He would be close to, his family out there, because I think they live in Texas and Louisiana right over there. So, yeah, I mean, I could see it, but I would really like to get those 2 picks from Buffalo if at all possible.
Well, the thing is, Buffalo already traded up to 12.
That's right. Shit, I forgot about that.
So they still have 22 remaining, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, if Mayfield's available at 12, Buffalo will probably take them at 12.
Yeah.
So it just all depends on what happens.
Right.
But I'm sure the Redskins could still trade back and acquire some picks.
Uh-huh.
Even if Lamar Jackson, for example, a lot of people see him as a top 15 pick.
It's true.
So I mean, people can still trade up for Lamar Jackson to the Redskins, and they get some picks there.
The Redskins are going to wind up drafting a quarterback.
Probably in the 4th round. They'll probably take either Mike White or they're not going to take a quarterback at 13.
No. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be something off the wall.
They're not going to be able to do that because even with the 5th year option that they get in the 1st round, that kid's going to only be able to play for 2 years because you have Alex Smith for at least 3 before you can get out of his deal.
You know the Washington Redskins?
This is yes, but also
do you really?
They're not that. They are okay. They are, but they're also not that dumb. I like to think. I'd like to think that Jay Gruden has somewhat of a voice in there, and he understands the ramifications of if you draft a quarterback at 13.
Jay Gruden, the guy who didn't realize his safety was going to get traded. I
gotcha. Again, what do you expect him to say publicly?
Yes, anybody's open. We're always looking. We're always looking to improve our team. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. Don't say no. Don't lie to me and say you're not going to trade. Don't lie to me and say you're going. He's not going to be traded. That's something completely different. Like that's what pissed me off. That's why I stopped watching the news. Don't lie to me. Just say I either say I'm not at liberty to discuss, or we're always looking at our options. Come on now. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I'm not. Oh gosh, we have too much fun here.
A little bit. Should we move on to this mock draft?
Yeah. If we get, I did have a couple of questions in there, but we'll get to it because one was about Rashad Penny, and I don't want to hear you talk about him right now.
Well, he's not going to be on this part yet, so
okay. No. I just don't want you talking about it because I know you will. You will.
You want me to be right again? Is that it?
Oh, come on now, man. But anyway, you got your, and I'm about to pull it up here as Amir gets ready to pull up. I get to pull up his mock draft here that he's so kindly.
I'm right about more picks than Mel Kiper at this point. So,
okay, let's take a look at it, and we shall see.
Number 1, the Cleveland Browns. I have them taking Sam Darnold, quarterback out of USC. So we'll go with the top five right now, and then we'll go a little analysis.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Giants, New York Giants are going to be taking Quentin Nelson, the guard out of Notre Dame. They're going to be wanting to shore up that offensive line for whoever may be the quarterback of the future, whether they draft him later on in this draft or if it's going to be in another year or so.
Uh-huh.
The New York Jets, who have traded up to the third spot, this is not a false trade. This has been a reported official trade. Will be taking Josh Rosen, quarterback out of UCLA.
Josh Money Rosen.
Josh Monday Rosen. At number four, the Browns are going to be taking Bradley Chubb, defensive end out of NC State. And to round off the top five, Broncos are going to be taking Josh Allen, quarterback out of Wyoming. Sanchez, your thoughts at the top five?
Um, I like the Darnold pick for the Browns because we've been hearing a lot of rumbles about that. I think at two is too high to pick a guard. Um, Josh Money Rosen, I think that's spot on. I think that's why the Jets um, picked picked traded with the Colts to get in that position because really probably the riskiest pick of these quarterbacks next to Baker Mayfield, but a lot of people don't really talk about him. It's Josh Rosen. And I had mentioned a story to you. Maybe was it around? It was around Christmas time, probably towards the tail end of the season, about him
Mm-hmm.
trying to make money and everything. Not really. Where he just wants to in it for the cash and not really um, to play and become great. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Number four, Bradley Chubb. Um, I still think Barkley will go here, but I think that would be a good. That Browns line would be lethal if if they were to draft Bradley Chubb there, and I think he's the best defensive talent in the draft. Uh, Bill Belichick. Anytime Bill Belichick's giving you pointers at your pro day, I believe it was at Belichick, or was it at Alabama, or it was at NC State. Bill Belichick was giving Chubb pointers.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay. All right then. And then Josh Allen. I don't know. I just don't think that's the. I think his build is kind of it would stray John Elway away, but we never know. We shall see. But I like the top five. I disagree with some of them, but hey, that's all right. So we've got Darnold, Quentin Nelson, Josh Rosen, Bradley Chubb, three quarterbacks going in the first five picks.
All right, moving on to our picks 6 through 10.
Mm-hmm.
The Indianapolis Colts. Now, mind you, this mock draft shows no trades. I don't like to really show trades in my mock drafts because it's so unpredictable. This is mainly based on where I think these players are going to go
Mm-hmm.
and just what the current team's positions are. So, again, the number 6, Colts are going to be taking Minka Fitzpatrick, safety out of Alabama. Pair him with the guy they got from Ohio State last year. What was his name?
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about. Um, because he was a
We were
top.
gonna get. We were supposed to get him if we didn't get Allen. I can't remember
Hmm.
his name though. But he played. He played really well until he got injured. But definitely pair him with that, and they have a really good lockdown safety stuff going down. Buccaneers, since they let go of Doug Martin, this in the offseason, I have them taking Saquon Barkley, running back at Penn State. I have him falling down to 7. Um, Number 8, Bears taking Denzel Ward, cornerback out of Ohio State. 49ers taking Calvin Ridley, wide receiver out of Alabama, giving Jimmy G some more weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And rounding up the top 10, we have the Raiders taking Roquan Smith, linebacker out of Georgia.
And Roquan Smith, a big pick down there. The Raiders going defense for John Gruden's first pick in back in the Raiders fold. Calvin Ridley, I think that's would be a great pickup for Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy G. Somebody who can who's just all around talent there at wide receiver spot. Denzel Ward. I actually was talking to a Bears fan friend of mine, and he was talking about uh, getting the linebacker out of Virginia Tech. And he's like, well, he's kind of a Tech fan too, so kind of biased there. But I think defense is where they're going to go um, to help out. And Saquon Barkley with the Bucks, it's a possibility. But I still today think if he falls in that range where he's grasping, you can taste uh, Barkley falling down there. Um, why not just fish up and try and get them? But not nice, nice rounding up the top 10 there. No quarterbacks so far, so we'll take a look because I know you have it in your next 5 picks.
Yeah, so next side, 11 through 15.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins, I have them taking Vita Vea, defensive tackle out of Washington. I've been taking Vea because they did release Sue. They're going to need somebody to fill up that middle spot. Why not take the prototypical of the what is considered the best prospect at that position for the replacement of Sue? Bills, who had traded up to number 12 from the Cincinnati Bengals. Have them taking Baker Mayfield, quarterback out of Oklahoma, the Heisman Trophy winner. Our Redskins, ladies and gentlemen, I have them taking Deron Payne, defensive lineman out of Alabama. This guy is, just watching film on him, is absolutely a beast. He can play all the spots that you need on the defensive line, whether you're in your base formation, whether you're in your nickel formation, whatever your formation is, he can play that defensive line. He's in my opinion, he's more of a 3-down player versus Vea.
Okay.
For number 14, Green Bay Packers taking Mike McGlinchey, the tackle out of Notre Dame, and running off the top 50, those next 5 picks, I have the Cardinals taking Christian Kirk, wide receiver out of Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Fitzgerald is in the last year of his deal. He's probably going to retire after this year. They lost John Brown in free agency. They need some help on that on the weapon side.
Yeah. Couple
For
of questions. Yeah.
for Mike Lennon, because I don't know how Sam Bradford's going to last 16 games.
I see what you did there. Um, so quick question there. If question about the Redskins being there 13. So who would you take if they're on the board? I think I know what your answer is going to be. And it says if Notre Dame, if Quentin Nelson or Vita Vea are both on the board, which do you pick? I would probably say if I was you looking at this draft pick, I would probably say neither because Deron Payne is probably still on the board, right?
I mean, if that's the case, yeah. I don't know why I like Payne more than Vea. I just do.
Uh-huh.
It's just it's just personal preference. It's like I'm trying to make a comparison. It's like a few years ago when it was Winston or Mariota. It was like pick your poison kind of thing. And you could go no wrong with either of those picks. Which we've so far Mariota has had more success than Winston.
Mm-hmm.
So go figure. But also that could also be the same thing as Goff and Wentz. Wentz has yet to play in a playoff game. Of course, he has won a ring, but just being on the injured bench there. But Goff definitely showed that he was right to be a first overall pick. Once he actually got a coach who could coach.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move on
Mhm.
to any thoughts for 15.
One. And another question about that. Oh, and it was Malik Hooker who went to the Colts.
Malik Hooker, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Gregory Lightbody.
The guy.
Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Oh, and somebody said something about what about Derwin James? why not pick him in that
Derwin James
spot.
is definitely an interesting pick. I have thought about Derwin James for the Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
It's, he would definitely, I would think, go slide in at free safety behind Swearinger. And I think Swearinger's in the second of his third year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's definitely a guy that could take over at some points.
Okay.
So if Vea and Payne are gone at 13, I don't expect
Mm-hmm.
Nelson to make it out of the top 10 at all. Um, to that one guy who was talking about Nelson. Um,
Uh,
then Derwin James is definitely positive. I think a possibility for the Skins at 13.
okay.
I
Mm,
wouldn't. I wouldn't mind that one bit.
nice. Okay. Mm.
Um, any other thoughts? Score.
No, sir. No, sir. Moving
Move
on
on
down.
to 16 through 19. Since that's what we have here on this page. And we'll go on for the remaining. At 16, I have the Ravens taking Rashawn Evans, linebacker out of Alabama. The San Diego Chargers of Inglewood taking Marcus Davenport, edge rusher out of UTSA. I have the Seahawks taking Will Hernandez, guard out of UTEP, because Lord
They need
knows
it.
Russell Wilson is terrified. I think Russell Wilson has more freaking flyer miles than I do.
Yeah, yeah, and plus, he doesn't have protection from his wife or from defenders, so he's just
this is
u- he's
this
just
is
used
also
to
true. We need to get that guy a whistle.
yeah, he just has hoes coming in all the time. So
Yep. And
yeah,
then we have the Dallas Cowboys taking Arden Key, defensive lineman out of LSU.
so wrapping up that part as we get ready to move on to your second half.
Any
And
thoughts there?
yeah, oh well, I am speeding up here. I don't know why. Um, I think these all address needs. The Ravens, they're always trying to build defense. And Ozzie Newsome's last year's general manager. Um, Chargers get a nice edge rusher to work with Joey Bosa. That's something the Chargers. They had a good defense last year, but just to bring somebody else there for Gus Bradley to play around with, that'd be good. Will Hernandez, the guard out of UTEP. Seahawks need protection, man. They can't buy insurance. Like their insurance would be through the roof if they had if Russell Wilson was a car. Legitimately, it'd be like you need to get volcano insurance to protect that thing.
Oh, especially for the amount of miles, yes.
Yes, true. Yes. Yes. He is Sierra's husband. And then Arden Kev from LSU. Dallas is always looking to improve that defensive line. They always the one thing I will say good about Dallas is that Rod Marinelli, the defensive coordinator, who's a defensive line guru, um, you know, just like Tom Sula, um, he knows how to get his line ready to go, and that is something that I think serves him well. So that to get something this high picking, especially when you don't know how some of your folks are going to be come since it's contract year, especially like is it for Lawrence who's in a contract year?
Demarcus Lawrence is playing on the franchise tag so far. They have
Franchise
not.
tag.
They have not worked out a long term deal as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that'll be the July 15th deadline. So
Okay. Yeah. All right. Then. Once we get Des Bryant, it'll be all good, right? Uh,
comments, everyone, post in the comment section below. Yay or nay for Dez? I just want to hear what the fans think out there.
yes, please say. So, poll question: if you think the Redskins should go out and get, please comment yes, no, and why. Why do you? For either reason. Uh, y'all know how I feel about that. But
Another option is: are you guys on crack? Question mark.
yes, are you smoking pipe? Do you beat your mothers? So those are two questions that we'd like for this survey to produce because we know who beats up people. As Yeah, but I really do think it's succinct there. And then wrapping up this segment of five here, you have one more person, uh, the running back out of LSU, Darius Geis.
Yes, Darius guys going to the Lions. The Lions have been, Matthew Stafford, is I think is definitely one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league.
You're crazy.
He is. He has a lot of fourth quarter comebacks. He has a lot of
A lot of
a
playoff
lot of 5,000 yard
wins.
passing seasons. He has a
Uh-huh.
humongous arm, and he's able. He's clutch. But the only thing is they've never really had a running back to work with. So getting Darius guys, who I think is I have them in our rankings from our rankings video ranked third. I think he will
Uh-huh.
be the second back taken. Um, so I do think even though I have him ranked third, I think he'll be the second back taken. So he'll go to the Lions. What do you think there?
I think you're crazy when you say that Matt Stafford is what he is, what you think he is. All I know is he's a man who is overpaid for an 0-3 record in the playoffs, and no division title to show for it. And, but I do agree with you in all seriousness. There's guys could put them over the top, especially when that with that NFC North. I think the power of with the talent in the NFC North, it's no reason why the top three teams in there shouldn't be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I completely agree there. It's like the
And Chicago could sneak in there too, to be honest with you.
starting to, yeah, the way they're starting to shape up. They got their Chicago got some weapons in free agency. So
Yeah. So
moving on to the next, we're going to go on to the next six actually, so we can round up the playoff teams.
uh,
So the Bengals weren't playoff team; they had traded back with the Buffalo Bills. Bengals are going to be taking Connor Williams, tackle out of Texas. Buffalo Bills will be taking DJ Moore, wide receiver out of Maryland. It gives them a weapon for to go with Baker there. Rams taking Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker out of Virginia Tech. Panthers taking Josh Jackson, cornerback out of Iowa, since Breland failed his physical with them. Tennessee Titans will be taking James Daniels, offensive lineman out of Georgia. He's more of a center, but he's definitely a first round talent there at offensive line. And rounding out
well, we
that
just
six
started.
would be the Falcons
Yeah.
taking Maurice Hurst, defensive lineman out of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think there?
Um, the wide receiver makes sense for the Bills. After they just like hemorrhaged wide receiver and then had to go out and get Calvin Benjamin. Excuse me, Tremaine Edmonds. Nice pickup, nice tool for Wade Phillips to play with. The Panthers, they're always needing corners for some reason. Good pickup there. Um, James Daniels. Did you say and the Titans as well? They need some offensive line help. The Bungles, they need to protect Andy Dalton from himself. So I guess
From
this
himself.
that I guess Connor Williams makes sense there. So, but your next couple picks, I think these are interesting to be honest with you. Coming up,
All right. What about the Falcons taking Maurice Hurst?
um, Michigan. Yeah, Michigan might be my favorite college. Come come Tuesday. So yeah, Michigan dude, I like that. So
Okay. All right. So for the final six picks here, we got New Orleans Saints taking Lamar Jackson, quarterback out of Louisville. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Mason Rudolph, quarterback out of Oklahoma State University.
woo.
Jacksonville Jaguars taking Mike Gesicki, tight end out of Penn State.
Ooh.
The Minnesota Vikings taking Colton Miller, offensive tackle out of UCLA, giving protection to that one guy who's now there. He who must not be named.
Kirk Cousins.
New England Patriots taking Jari Alexander, cornerback out of Louisville. They did lose Malcolm Butler. And then I have rounding out the first round at 32, the Super Bowl champion Eagles taking Derwin James, safety out of Florida State University.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty good, and I apologize. Nobody saw your lineup here because I forgot to share it, so I apologize for that. But a lot of sneaky stuff coming up in with these last 6 picks, especially with the Saints. Lamar Jackson, really? Huh? It just doesn't seem like a Sean Payton type quarterback. So, bless you. Did you sneeze?
No, that'll be my father in the background.
Oh, sorry, bless you. And Mason Rudolph for the Steelers. That makes sense. Mike Gesicki, I've heard a lot of good things from the combine, and where they did release Mercedes Lewis, who was there for years.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will be a good pickup for them. Colton Miller, God knows that just like Andy Dalton in Cincinnati, the Minnesota professional football team's quarterback number 8 will need all the protection that he could get there. The Patriots there, they they need corner help.
Guys,
They definitely do need corner help there. And then Derwin, Jari Alexander makes sense, and then Derwin James, person that the Redskins might have been able to get if he was still that a lot of draft people are saying would be a pick for the Skins. Going to the Eagles, the rich get richer. He can learn from Malcolm Jenkins on how to be a standout safety in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So out there in the comments, do we have any thoughts on our first mock draft of 2018?
Okay, let's see here. Somebody said they'd like Fitzpatrick at 13.
Minkah Fitzpatrick at 13. He is not going to fall out of the top 10. He is just too good of a talent.
After the QBs are taken in the top 5, 6, any players in your mock draft plug in the Redskins roster. I guess that was more of a declarative statement than a question. I think Quentin Nelson would make our defensive line so much better. Offensive line, God, I can't read. It's too late in the East Coast. And what do you think about that? I think that's obvious. It would because you got 4. You already got 4 starters there, so and you need left guard help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then big one. We did get a vote on the Des Bryant sweepstakes, which is should he wear number 88? And he probably will in Washington.
I believe 88 is available, so.
Yeah. Des Bryant, hell no. Why? Because we can't shake anyone. He can't shake anyone. He did shake his mother. He can't play the slot. He can play slot machines or the Z. He damn sure can't be a feature wide receiver. When Josh Norman said Dez is just a guy, he was spot on. Well, in that defense, I think Josh Norman's just a guy too, just a guy who didn't have an interception last year. So you're talking about 2, I think, over the hill players going back and forth now. So, but I wouldn't go with Mr. Cowboys X Factor is on here with us. What's up, man? Sorry, we didn't mean to talk bad about you guys down there in Dallas, but doing good work down there. And then what does Braden Smith? What do you think of Braden Smith from Auburn?
Braden Smith from Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look here. Sounds familiar. He's a tackle, offensive tackle. Let's see here. According to his draft profile from NFL.com, he has a 5.65 grade, which means he could develop into a starter. He had a 5.22 40-yard dash. Bench press 35 reps, which is pretty good. Vertical jump 33.5 inches. He's built like a bank safe with a broad chest, hulking arms, thick legs. Absorbs content. Draft projection, I agree here. Probably rounds 3 to 4 for him. That may be a good idea to take with our 4th round pick, and the reason I'm saying that is we don't know how much longer Trent's gonna be playing.
Nope.
Trent's going on. This is gonna be his 9th season, I believe.
You're correct, sir.
And the poor guy is just, as much as a beast as he is, and as much credit as I give him and everything, he's just been plagued by injuries his entire career. Even though he battles through them and everything, but there's just so much that the body can take.
Right. Absolutely.
And may have to be looking towards the future there. More so than not, especially, while we still have young pieces like Morgan Moses and Brandon Sheriff and Chase Roulier on the line.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we, that's I mean, with the kid, yeah, I think that would be a good pickup there. Like I said, in the 4th round, 3rd round, especially that's somebody to look at when you do the full Redskin pick there. But looking at it, and we said that
like $200.
Let's see, Marcus Davenport. We'll take a look at him too. Yeah, and to Cowboy X Factor, I like Vita Vey, but my cohort here, who is a Cowboys fan on his profile, is going with
I'm just fulfilling
Deron
that part of
Payne.
the bargain. We had a bet, and I'm just fulfilling
Yeah,
that part of the bet.
I know. I'm just highlighting it. And why do you have to do that? Because I was right. That's yeah. Marcus Davenport from is that the guy you said that was going to
I believe that guy said it was going to the Chargers.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly who he said. That shows you how much I paid. Um yeah. That's who he said. So I mean that he could be like I mean, like the small school, like kind of what that buzz was around Hassan Reddick last year.
Right.
Yeah, so he could be this year's Hassan Reddick. I don't know who he grades out. Like, what's the comparison? He draws to comparisons to Danielle Hunter or Danielle Hunter. I think that's how they pronounce it. Um, yeah, but Deron Payne is it? I'm saying that guy's name right from Alabama. Payne. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how we have Zach Brown band, House of Pain on the line, and you got to take your Vita vitamins. Maybe. Yeah. Your vitamins. But yeah, and just going back, no Des Bryant. We agree on that. One comment on that was I might be right about Josh Norman. Yeah, I think I'm right about Josh Norman. I like Josh Norman, but he's 30 plus now. So But um, I'd be do you have any final thoughts here on your pick? I think you did a great job, man. You do a great job every year of doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do. Don't like y'all. This guy does a lot of work in putting this draft board together. He does something that I don't do, and I'm not a draft guy, and so it's so great to have a draft guy here to do stuff like that. And Amir, I appreciate that hard work that you put up in there, man, because it was. I know it's hard to do this. Just it's like picking brackets, pretty much. Probably worse
Yeah.
because yeah. And I'd be remiss if I didn't let you get any final thoughts in on that and just talk about the time it took you to put that together and what you were looking at when you picked some of these picks.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I yeah, definitely went through a lot of thought process going into these picks, and of course, these are slated to change. Pro days are wrapping up here soon. Draft boards change all the time, and just from hype, from trades that come in. I mean, who knows if again, like the Giants may or may not trade Odell. See who goes after him there. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be a crazy thought. Both the Browns definitely I think are gonna be going quarterback with either the first or the fourth pick, probably the first pick, so they can have their pick of the litter, and
Nice.
that could be anyone from Sam Darnold to Josh Allen or even Baker Mayfield. Who knows?
Yeah.
But because moving on, they moved on from Cody Kessler today. They traded Cody Kessler
To Jacksonville, right?
to Jacksonville.
Okay.
So from their 2016 and 2017 quarterback picks, they've already moved on. So they have currently Tyrod Taylor under contract with. I think they brought in somebody else too. Can't remember his name currently. But they're gonna definitely draft somebody, and in the next couple weeks, guys, we'll be doing our Redskins full 7 round mock draft. I think the Redskins are done with their offseason moves for as of right now. I don't think they're going to be adding any more free agents. It depends if they do or don't. So we'll see there. But we'll be doing our 7 round mock draft for the Redskins. Do you want to do another battle, Corey, this year, or do you just want me to do the 7 rounds?
Yo, you're gonna do 7 rounds. I ain't doing no battle. You know that already. I'm not doing no battle. Um, I will. You just tell me the picks, and I'll go and research them, and we will present them with pretty pictures. And
Sounds good to me.
yeah, but
Um, Other than that, to find out our draft rankings, we have videos for quarterback and running back up. I've been meaning to do wide receivers and the rest of the offense. I'm running out of time there, and I'm starting a new job next week, guys. But luckily, I been able to now acquire a laptop to use. So hopefully, I'll be getting those up lickety split.
yes,
If not, I will just be typing out a blog post on our Facebook page. Plug in. So, you guys want to find out the rest of our rankings? Definitely check out our Facebook.
yeah, yeah,
So you go on
absolutely.
Facebook.com, search on the Warpath. You'll
Four
be able to
zero five.
find these two sexy guys here. And
I'm just
you'll be
saying.
able to see our content there. We're gonna be more proactive in that
Yes.
as much as we can be. Um, Besides for what is going on in our personal lives.
Yeah.
So going on that, we're gonna be are we gonna do it official on the Warpath Twitter soon?
We're in talks about that, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Now you got me doing the Jay Gruden thing. Uh, that is something we
We are
could.
definitely not going to be doing it on Twitter.
We are not
Next
doing
day.
a Twitter. We're not doing it.
Next day.
No,
Twitter.
yeah,
At
Twitter's
on the
coming up.
Warpath.
Yeah. It's always something that's on the docket. Gonna try to do some experimenting. Something I really want to do is, and I mean, I've expressed this to you, is to get a podcast going. Right now, in looking into equipment for that. I am going to start an experiment on Anchor, the Anchor app. I think that is a where you just call into your phone and you can do podcasts. So that's something that that I'm looking into on that respect. And maybe for the regular season, we are going to do face-offs. I something I really am looking forward to is getting people that we know who have who are fans of opposing teams. So when we get play Dallas, we get some of our Cowboy friends to come on here and talk to us. We get we'll play the Packers. There's always a Packers bandwagoner out and about, so we'll get hooked up with them. And I mean, I think there'll be something fun and something new and edgy to add there. We're trying to grow. It's actually we hit 2 years this month, so um, been doing this a while. Started this out on my own, and then we got Amir at the beginning. In the when did you come on board? Probably about early
It
part
was about.
of
Well, we had. Well, let's see here. I did my interview with you during your first year.
second. Yep, yep.
And then you had me come. We talked on Twitter a bit, and then you had me come on and do the draft special for the 7 rounds of the Redskins,
Right.
and then I I came on as a guest a couple more times, and then we decided to go ahead and go on full partnership.
Yep. Yes, and it's fun because it's somebody to keep you honest. It's somebody you can banter back and forth with. My Skip Bayless to uh, you're the Skip Bayless to my Shannon Sharp. The
Your skill.
yeah, Skip Bayless of my restitution of the purity and the joy. We need to get a joy on here. Can we get a joy?
You can get some eye candy, sure.
I'm not saying that. Kind of married man can't do that. But anyway, can't have the eye candy.
You can look, you can't touch.
Yeah, gonna get me in trouble here. Anyway,
Mr.
go.
Sanchez, if you're listening, don't
Yeah,
blame us
don't
for
kill me,
this.
please. Just go to California and find a mirror. But look at back here. Just wrapping up some of the comments. Um, thank you for commenting on the background. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into it. Um, the thumbtacks, great stuff. Um, Christmas gifts, crap that I had since I was in middle school, and something I found in Tennessee one time. And then my mom works at the Marine base in Quantico. So, oh, and Amir, you are in trouble.
Oh, what I do?
You're in trouble. I'll tell you off here.
Huh?
You're in trouble. And yeah, yeah, you're in trouble.
Oh, is a certain person
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
this
yeah,
right
yeah.
now?
You're in trouble. You're in trouble, pal.
Oh God.
See, I told you you'd get me in trouble. Well, you're going in trouble. See, that's why I didn't say anything. Anyway, but yeah, um, going down here looking at some of the comments. We did have our friend Cowboy X Factor. Go and visit him. Um, for you guys who are into just all kinds of the NFL stuff, and then thanks to uh, Washington Reds. Thanks to Redskins Pride for your comments, Greg, John Lynch. As always, you guys, we really do appreciate you. We love each and every one of you for coming in here and spending a little bit of your week with us. But as we gear up for the draft, we'll be here getting ready with Amir's 7 picks Maybe we might have 20 picks by the end of it. Maybe I might still be alive at that time, but we will see how that goes.
I might still
Thank
be
you.
alive, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But anyway, as we say here on the Warpath, love, peace, and hail, and we will be talking to you real soon. We are out.